Hi everyone, today I am going to tell you a short story from Panchatantra, and the name of the story is The Revenge of a Sweeper. So let me begin the story. There was a city named Bardhaman. There lived a rich merchant who had a service in the royal family. Now once he had given a party that was the wedding reception of his daughter. So many high-profile people were invited, but there the royal sweeper went and sat near the arena which was meant for the royal family. Seeing him sitting on that area, the merchant got furious, and immediately he asked him to leave that place, and he also insulted the sweeper. The sweeper came back, but he just decided to take revenge on this insult. Means to take revenge upon the merchant. He said nothing at that time. He came back. The next morning he went to the king's bedroom when the king was still in the bed. He then, without telling anything, he entered into the bedroom, and ignoring the presence of king, he started saying something to himself, but knowingly he said that so that the king could hear. He said, "Oh God, what this world has become. How can the merchant dare to embrace the queen?" And listening his words, the king was shocked because he was not sleeping at that time. So immediately he called the sweeper and said, "Hey, come here, come. Have you seen on your own eyes that the merchant embraced my queen?" Then the sweeper immediately started some acting. He said, "My lord, what I can say, the whole last night I was gambling and I couldn't sleep well. My lord, please forgive me if out of sense I told something wrong. Please forgive me." Now the king let him go, but he was really in a deep trouble. He thought himself, why the sweeper would tell a lie? And if his words were true, then he must take some action against the merchant. Because merchant was quite reliable and he had a good hold in his office, royal office. So he felt very bad. Then the king decided and then ordered his guards not to allow the merchant to enter the royal palace. Now the next day, when the merchant came to the palace, the guards stopped him and said this was the king's order and he can't enter the royal palace. Then the merchant was very much worried, and he thought, how come the king changed immediately? He thought for a while, but he was quite clever. So he thought, and then he came to know, means he realized that this thing has happened only because of this sweeper. Because the last night he had insulted the sweeper. So he said nothing and he came back. The merchant came back. Now the merchant called the sweeper to his home. When he came, he talked to him very softly, behaved very nicely. Then he showered valuable gifts and gave him delicious food. And by this, not only that, he also said that he was very sorry for his misbehavior uh, for the last night. He mentioned that the arena was meant for the king's security and king's family. That is why he scolded him. Now, getting so much delicious food and so many gifts, the sweeper had changed his mind. Means he was moved. He told him that, well, don't worry. I am happy now. Don't worry for that, for the last night event. Whatever, I will try my best to help you to come to the royal palace and the royal office once again. Then the sweeper, the next day, once again he entered into the king's bedroom. While sweeping, he again murmured, "Oh God, how can it be possible? How the king is eating, the king was eating cucumber in the bathroom? Is it possible?" When the king heard that he was telling something about him, once again he called him, "Hey, come here. Have you seen that I was eating cucumber in my bathroom? Why you are telling so?" Then the sweeper joined his hands and again said, "My lord, forgive me, please. Last night also I was gambling and I couldn't sleep. Maybe because of my drowsiness I said something wrong. Please forgive me." Then the king, "Let him go." He said nothing and he went away. Now the king thought, if the sweeper can say this nonsense about him, then he might have said all the nonsense about the merchant too. So he felt bad showing the misbehavior towards the merchant, particularly stopping him to enter into the royal palace. So once again, he called the merchant and he spoke to him very nicely, and he gave so many gifts and appointed him in his royal office once again. The merchant became happy. Now this much is the story. But what is the moral of this story? The moral of the story is that pay respect or show respect to everyone. If you will say respect, then you will be respected by others. Thank you so much. Once again I will meet you with some another story. Thank you.